History Month.
Yeah, that's better.
Happy.
I'm trying to be accustomed to saying that history. We've been so programmed to say history for so long, but it ain't his story. It's our story. We built this shit, man. All of it. Let's do a proper introduction because we have all our ladies on here. Welcome to Young Black Filmmakers. Look, part 2, because this is going to be edited. Welcome to Young Black Filmmakers, our YouTube channel. I'm Antonia Washington. And I'm Amanda Joy Washington. Mm-hmm. And the purpose of Young Black Filmmakers is, we want to bring a culturally inclusive climate and people to tell stories, all Black stories and cultural stories of people of color, and just creating a sense of community and just have that vibe going. So that's our purpose, to create that community of people of color. Yes, and that's what we're doing today. We're focusing on Women's History Month. And we have Bridget Roberts, and we have Amber A. Harris, very talented, beautiful, spirited women. I truly enjoyed working with both of them. They are just, I don't know, once you ever meet people and you be like, oh, yes, like they're amazing. And if you know them, you already know. Okay. You already know. We're going to start with just a quick little what's going on in our news. Again, we said something about this is our year, our quarantine year. Right, our quarantine-versary. It is our quarantine-versary. Cheers. Cheers. And cheers up, because I saw you something. No?
Yeah, I can't cheers to that. You know, my quarantine-versary is...
it wasn't great. It's not something... I'm not celebrating... No, disclaimer. I was not celebrating, quarantine-versary. It was like, wow, it's been a year. So this is like a reflection.
Yeah.
This is a reflection.
Indeed.
It's definitely this.
I put something out for my homie that went on.
Right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To my mama.
And yes, let's pour up to the people, and let's give a moment of silence for those who unfortunately has lost their lives through this tragic time. And we just want to give thanks and honor.
Don't make me cry. Stop.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Keep it moving.
Yes. I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. But anyway.
Amen.
Yeah. Moving on.
Amen.
Anyone see Coming to America?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Oh. What was that? Yes. No. Don't say I'm not with your face. I don't wanna know.
No. Look, I'm Coming to America fan. I loved it when it came out in the 90s. You know, I love seeing all the old characters come back and some new characters in this one. I don't want to tell the story, but at the beginning, I was super excited because I made a note on my Instagram. I said, you know, if they haven't brought back the 20th century Black history, all of the 20th century Black history, they came damn close to it.
Right.
I was so excited to see all of people from the 90s, you know, 20th century, and it was really cool.
So everybody was on there. That's what it sounds like.
Yes,
like all the original
legends. Yeah, like
everybody's there. However, I guess because the first one is a cult classic, and so for me, certain things don't need to be remade. It doesn't need a sequel. You know, it's like certain songs. You know what I mean? Like Dolly Parton made "I Will Always Love You," right? And so then Whitney came along. Like it doesn't need to be touched ever again, right? So I felt like the first one was enough, and this one is kind of targeting the younger generation. You know, and for me, that's not my era. So I'm stuck back in 1990 or 80, whenever the original came.
Right.
You know, right. I mean, but aesthetically, it's beautiful. story is good. You know, the costumes, Ruth E. Carter, excuse me, hands down, exquisite. You know, shout out to Rick Ross letting us see all up and through his house.
Every time to time, be like, why he can't invite me? Like, right.
But I ain't gonna lie, like that kind of took me down a little bit too, because it's like they just down in Fayetteville. Like it was the unknown of the first one. Like I don't know where it was filmed, you know, like Zamunda. But it's like they were down in Fayetteville. Like I can't explain.
Right around the corner or whatever.
Right.
We're gonna call a nigga for an extra, be an extra or something.
Okay, so that, and I feel like that's what we need to like. I have 2 movies I would need to see. We need to see that, and I also need to see the United States versus Billie Holiday.
Yeah,
no,
I saw that one. Yeah,
that Golden Globe was very well deserved.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to my soror Andrade for sure.
She did. So how do you feel about like singer? I don't know if she has an actor's background, but
no, it's her debut.
Not her in her in general. But how do you feel about like actors, like just not actors, but singers moving into like the acting world and like taking on roles?
We see Tiff is saying she was a gifted vessel. Oh no, that's her name, gifted vessel.
Mm-hmm.
I
see you.
Entertainers, some of us who hone our craft, study and all that stuff, we become, better in some areas that we have not mastered before the other. But singers are entertainers. You look at the music videos, like most of those are like a movie anyway. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. You know, everybody doesn't cross over well, but I feel like if you do the work, you know what I mean? Right. If you do the work and you strip that character of everything and create it and become like the performance is going to be there, and you can tell that Andrade did her fucking work. She did her work. Like,
and the crazy thing is, she was insecure. She didn't want to do it.
Yeah, this is her first film. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is her debut. And I even found myself like trying to compare it, which you can't compare because Quincy Jones is the GOAT. Diana Ross is the GOAT. But I was like, lady.
That's why I'm scared to see it. That's why I'm scared to see it, because that's
different. It's completely different. This side and from this aspect of how we're seeing her is nothing like Lady Sings the Blues. So it takes you on a different journey, but it's heavy for me because we're still dealing with this. And to know that that's how her life ended, how she suffered, and she was such a vessel, a gifted vessel, like somebody's name was, and to know that that's how she suffered in her last moments, like it really sucks, but it's worth seeing for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I got 2 things I need to see this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys weren't the only ones saying that. A lot of people said it, but I was like, I don't know. Lady Sings the Blues was
a classic. I loved it.
And you know what I love most about it? It was the fact that it was like a love story, and I'm sappy. I like that love story.
When you said you watched it, you said you had some thoughts.
I did have some thoughts, even though I know a lot of people loves it. And Andrade, like, I agree. Amber, she did her thug thizzle. Like, she embodied her ancestor. Like, it was an exorcism. She was Billie Holiday for real.
Yeah.
But I feel like she was so good that the people around her were so whack. Like, it just like, she was so good. I wanted them to come up to her level.
Yeah, and they were just like doing away.
Yeah, so it didn't do anything for me because she was so good that everybody couldn't reach where she was. They weren't strong. They weren't strong actors to me. So it just that's where I got lost.
And to be completely honest, but it probably supports your point. I didn't even notice the other actors.
Did it? I didn't.
I didn't really notice them Because I was so engulfed in her and her story and how she was walking and talking and smoking and breathing and
Wow.
It was this one. It was this one authentic moment. It was a lot of moments, but it was just so real. Yeah, I don't want to tell it, but it's just a moment where the guy who busted her the first time, they're attempting to have sex, and he says not like this, and he turns her around and they're facing each other. That moment, he touched her and she moved away like she had never been touched by a man before. When I tell you, I sat straight up in my bed like, hey, oh now.
That's good.
Like, she had some like hair-raising moments. And I I really believe that, she did earn that Golden Globe. Like,
she earned it.
We got some people saying she got it for other reasons, but she earned it.
Did that.
Earned it. I have some. Okay, we have Tiffany. My hey sister. She said, yes, she did. She agreed. Toronto Rose did his thing, and she said, don't pigeonhole the actors. Okay, what does that mean? Yeah, what you mean? Oh yeah, honor the craft. Okay. Yes, because I'm sure they probably did their thing and had to prepare just as much as Billy had to prepare. No, I mean Andre Day.
That's what they did.
As much as Andre Day had to prepare, the actors had to prepare. You right.
They did. Okay, I can't say anything about it. I'm one of the people who haven't read the whole story but got something to say. So I'm not saying anything about it.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to watch it and see. I'm taking you guys' point of view. I mean, you have any more?
Oh no, that's it.
Okay, she multitasking. Okay, so we are moving right along because it's Friday, and we don't want to hold you so long. Like Pastor said, we got 30 minutes.
That was
that was pretty.
That's about the only club action I'm gonna get this weekend.
I know. Amber, are you going anywhere? This is All-Star Weekend. We're in Atlanta. Okay, I see your face, and I know you're very serious about this. Yes.
I just became a certified COVID compliance officer for film and TV sets. No, this is not going anywhere. The Britain strand that's going to strike us soon, like we are not prepared. And people are not testing anymore. They think that because the vaccine is here, oh, we're free. No, you're not. Even with the vaccine, you need to still wear the mask. Like, I will be at home. Okay.
Yeah. But what do you think? And we talking about politics too, because I'm curious to know, like, what would it change to get people to comply? Like, why are we so comfortable, or why is America so comfortable? Because you look at I don't know what other countries are doing, but when I saw like New Zealand, how they had all their numbers just drop down to zero. Like, what are we doing wrong? And then you think you have another.
We listen. We're
not listening.
Like,
we living our best lives.
Right. And it's not obviously not all of us, but enough of us to where they get back in the mix with their family members and work and stuff like that. And it just spreads. And nobody has listened. Like New Zealand, they actually stayed in the film house.
Okay.
My brother lives in Morocco, and they locked the whole country down. You can only go out to get groceries, and that's it. Necessities. That's it. And only one person from the family can do that. Everybody else locked down. They didn't have events that they normally have, national events. They didn't have them because they didn't want people to gather. So
I just we really just taken the necessary action back on March 9th when the first case was discovered in Fulton County. And for all we know, it may have been cases before that, but known cases March 9th. I feel like if everything has shut down then, if the governor had mandated like that is it, I feel like we would have been okay. But because they didn't do that, and people didn't know the severity of it, because President.
Right, exactly.
What you call him?
We don't say his name.
Want to alarm people?
He's not ours anymore.
Okay, I don't want to get angry. Yeah, yeah,
And at the same time, like we still have a new president, we have a new Senate in, and it's still nothing. It's still the same.
Well, why do you expect it to change?
Where's my stimmy though? I'm waiting for my stimmy. Hello, Joe.
They still discussing it. You know what I mean? Because
right.
they see how much it's going to affect them and their dollars first. But I do think, our President Biden said that he's going to have that it's possible for everybody to be vaccinated by the end of the summer. So, we need 80% herd immunity, and we're supposed to have that by the fall. But he's claiming that it's going to be by the summer, So if we can make that happen, like, I feel that people can still kind of go back a little, like 30%, though. I don't think we'll totally be out of the woods until like 22, 23.
Yeah.
And
that's it if everybody gets vaccinated, because as Black people, we're a little leery about vaccinations. We are leery about health, period.
Yeah, baby. The doctor gave us that good old syphilis, huh? Oh,
yes. And then them taking us women and doing surgical things with us to see the anatomy of our body. No, we not.
Yeah.
We're a little leery about that. So I think our community is saying, I'm just gonna wait it out and see what happens to this people, and then we'll see what happens.
Right.
So in the meantime, what do we do?
Hold on. Just keep holding on and wearing your mask.
And wait a minute. Now double mask, because they're saying it's a new strain, so you got to double mask.
And then what happens to teachers who have to teach virtual and face to face, and they got kids, and then their parents are getting comfortable? Because what I've noticed, more kids. Okay, we had small amounts.
Yes, your face.
We had small amounts of kids when it first happened. Now everybody want to bring their motherfuckers to school. It's getting real. They getting real lax,
and you still don't want to give teachers what they're worth.
I think it's really crazy how they chose not to.
No, you had a whole year of seeing what it was like to have your child at home. Imagine 28 or 33 of your child in one classroom that I'm responsible for. And you still don't want to put teachers at the top of the line to get the vaccine, but you want to put me back in a classroom, double me to teach the child, and give me $1,000, Governor.
$1,000! Yes! When I saw that, I said, what the fuck I'm going to do with this?
Bro, you got to put a few more zeros on that.
One-time stipend of $1,000. But
better yet, you want to
Thank you, Brett. PTSD is real, and where's the teacher stimulus? Yes, preach. They saying preach.
You want to open the schools back up, but why can't we go over there to the governor's mansion and have tours? Huh? Why is everything opened up?
Girl, you about to make me
man, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, bro. Come on, Stacey Abrams. Let's go. I'm ready to campaign full throttle. Let's go.
We so fired up. And then, this is the last thing, and we done. Okay, and we moving on to something else. Then Georgia got this whole restriction for voter suppression. They got a whole new voter suppression laws and litigations and stuff like that, because since we turned blue, they're like, oh, we can't have that. We can't have that. So now they got all these laws coming out and making it harder for us to vote and get Stacey Abrams in what, 1 more year or 2 more years?
22, I think. Yeah. 22.
Yeah, one more year. That's why they were in fire and brimstone trying to get those legislators passed.
And that's why he wanted to give us those $1,000, because we're not voting you back in with that $1,000.
You better go ahead and. She said, "Please suck my balls." I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies.
You guys, my favorite Tiffany's are on here.
So
we're a refill. Can I get a
refill? Bartender. That's called.
Voila, and I'm back.
What are we drinking on? What do you have?
This is a Pinot Noir from Austria. It's Queen Esther. It's amazing. I get it from the Beaufort Highway Farmers Market. I love that place. So Queen Esther, Pinot Noir.
But you know, we can't have red wine in this house.
Why?
Because I be spilling stuff. That's why. I'm clumsy.
Everywhere. I said she does not have. And then when we did Rise, and you guys were over here
on the white rug.
Did we have red or did we have white?
It was red.
We had red.
Oh, red. So you know, I was like, no. Okay. Right. Because it was white pillows, a white rug, just white on white on white. So I was like, okay. And then the more you drinking, the more you get a little loose.
Okay. A little loose.
Yeah, we drink red.
But then when I was like, oh, that's good. We didn't spill nothing. So while like 2 days later.
Are you
serious? I spilled it. I did.
It looked like a massacre in here. And all the pillows. Let me see that.
I thought she was gonna take them pillows back. She ain't take them back.
I was gonna take them back. Yeah, I was gonna be like that. But then I was like, okay, it looks kind of nice. We can keep on. You know, we need pillows. You know. But even if I thought about it, even if I was still trying to debate, I still can't because now.
But I cleaned them mothers. Like I was on a Tide commercial because you can't see nothing. You can't see no scars. Okay.
Know that black ash.
Sprinkle me, baby.
That's right.
Okay. But you guys were phenomenal. Thank you so much for participating in our trailer for our series. But we want to just discuss women right now because it's Women's History Month, and just talking about just the liberated woman, particularly the liberated Black woman. Right? You know, a lot of us have kind of. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but most of us, you know, we have kind of rooted in a church, and we're on these like ideologies and things like that. So we just want to just hear you out of, you know, what comes in mind when you think of sexual liberation.
Bridget, you want to go first?
Okay, sexual liberation.
This the good stuff right here.
It's just free to be who you are and, you know, loosen up whenever you want to sexually. For me, I believe that.
What my sister says, sin.
Sin.
She said, sinny, sin.
If that's what you think,
so femininity, but the same thing. So being liberated in yourself, like, you know.
Even if you're a person who chooses not to, you know, put it out there like that, you know, unless it's for somebody that you want to like go ham on, you know what I mean?
Ham and cheese, ham and cheese.
Ham egg.
I'm saying no. Like, I don't know. No. But when I get that one, that you know what? Be smooth.
Well, I think that you know, I learned to play the game a long time ago, you know. And I just feel like I play the game like the guys play the game. Now that don't mean I'm out here sexing down every Tom, Dick, and Dick. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, don't call me. I'll think about calling you. You know what I mean? Like, it's for the moment. That's what sexual liberation is for me. Like, it's for the moment. Like, I need to get my rocks off. I've been stressed for a week, honey. Come and help the dog release. And again, don't call me. I'll think about calling you, you know. And of course, always protect it. You know what I mean? Not just any Tom, Dick, and Dick. You know, it's somebody that I've had a relationship with for years. several men that I've had a relationship with for years, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, you got you a good roster. And it's like, all right, so you since college, you since grad school. I mean, you know, and it's like, okay, well, I call him this week.
You comfortable.
Yeah. And I just do what they do. You know what I mean? Because if they're not committed to me, then they got a Trina, Tisha, Tasha, Amanda, Amber, Bridget in waiting. You know what I mean? Their roster is a little longer than ours.
But how did you get to that point where you can think about that? Because you're from the South.
Yeah.
Atlanta. Hello. Even though this is still kind of city, it's still Southern tradition.
Well, so, I've lived all over. So I've lived in Alabama, Louisiana, New York, LA, Switzerland, China, France. So I've had my taste of all types of men. You know what I mean? I've experienced and I've dated and I've gone out and I've talked to and I've intertwined with all types of men. And you get to a certain age and you're like, okay, all right. And it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's like the Lori Harvey syndrome, you know, if you will. That don't mean she's sexing everybody. She getting to know people. And I was in my 20s. I didn't have any children. I wasn't married. And my mom was like, go off and live. And I lived. You know what I mean? When I got in my 30s, I slowed it down a little bit. Now, the doll is of a particular age and I'm approved. Huh? It's been months.
That's the thing. Like, for men, you can go ahead and sow your royal oats, right? Sow your royal like oats. Coming to America. Sow your royal oats, king. Go on, king. Do your thing, king.
Right.
But as for women, it's a different story. It's like, and have you noticed, like when you're at a sermon, the pastor preaching, but he's turning the women. Close your legs, women. Wear longer skirts, women. Stop sending these men. Women. Yeah, Jezebel. So it's like, so why? Okay, is it? And my thing is, it's like this is a male dominant society, and they say, you know, James Bridle said it's a man's world, right? Mm-hmm. And
well, it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl, huh?
So when did you start kind of losing that kind of ideology and just giving zero fucks and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do me?
I was living in LA and one of my college sweethearts, he called with this, you know, I want to get back together and it's a reason why you ain't never got married and I ain't never got married and I don't have no children, you don't have no children. I'm like, okay, I'm like, yeah, it is. So, you know, we started kicking and talking and, you know, what's that app? Marco Polo. Yeah, he introduced me to the Marco Polo app and that is what broke us apart. He decided to send me a message and then he decided to continue to talk on his work phone to another woman while still recording the message to me. And he didn't know, right? So the phone is laying on his desk and I'm looking up at his cubicle, but listening to the conversation on his work phone about what he want to do to her and how he gonna do it. And at this time, he's supposed to be engaged. Hello.
Wow.
And you know, eventually when he hung up the phone, he picked up his phone and you had thought he had seen God because he realized that he had been recording all of that time. And I caught it all. Yeah, like, yeah. So, you know, that for me, that was kind of like, you know what?
Did it get to the point where like you're going to the point where like niggas ain't shit, or it's just like he wasn't?
No, not at all. Like I love black men, I love men in general, but I love black men, and I want to be with a black man. Like I know I'm a queen, and I know that I am designed for a king that looks like me. Sorry, you know what I mean? And no, I don't think that all men are trash or shit or dogs. I think that the right one hasn't found me yet, you know, and it's because maybe he's not ready, you know, because I require a lot. And when I say that, I don't mean like in material things, you know, intangible things, but I require a lot because I'm going to give a lot. I'm going to love you unconditionally. I'm going to care for you. I'm going to pray for you. You know, like it's going to be a mutual respect all the way around. Like when I go out, I'm not only just representing me, I'm representing us. You know, we are a team, you know, and so I just, yeah, folks ain't raising their children like that nowadays, you know, and guys my age are either married or got a truckload of children, and I ain't got
a truckload. Jesus.
You know?
No, it's about, you know. Bridget, are you at that point where you just giving zero fucks? What's
your process with your liberation?
Because you know what?
I'm still developing into giving zero.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the age, the older you get, or it's just like.
Well, I feel like I was like that when I was younger. I'm the only girl of 5 kids. So I grew up with boys, you know, hanging out, playing basketball, you know, all that stuff. So I'm used to having monogamous relationships with the male figure. And, you know, when I was younger, I would drop somebody, and I was in a household where my dad was like, you don't have sex until you get married, period. We ain't gonna talk about it. That's just it. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously that didn't happen, but
but that was enough. I still carry that shame when you probably did it. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, but I'm asking, did it?
No, I think when I lost my virginity, I was in college, but when I lost it, I lost it to a boyfriend of mine, but I had already planned on breaking up with him. So I think that was my sexual liberation moment.
Was it a present? Like, I'm just going to just give you this thing, but I'm about to.
No, that was for me.
Okay. That's for you. Yes, liberation.
I wanted to know what it felt like, but but for him, he was still in my hometown while I was in college, and he was trying to make me feel guilty about being there. So I knew I was gonna let him go. Meanwhile, I'm on campus with big old herringbone chain and a letter of his name around my neck, but he tried to make me feel guilty for going to college to get educated. So I went to college. And I let my hormones run wild, and then I broke up with him. But
that was like that. Yes.
So back then I gave zero fucks, and then as I started to develop relationships with people, I started to soften up a little bit. But now I'm back to nigga, get out my face. Oh, just the ignorant.
You know, I think the thing that with families, the thing with Black families though, you know, like she said, your father was like, don't have sex until you get married. Who's to say I'm gonna get married? Every woman is not designed to get married. So if I never get married, you mean I ain't never supposed to have a D, baby? Back. Let me tell you something. My mama raised me in the church, right? I grew up a Bible-toting, Bible-thumping, good Baptist Christian girl. However, at the end of the day, I also lived my life. You know, a lot of things I snuck around and did. Yeah, Mom, sorry. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, it's my life. I only get one life to live. And so I am determined not to have any regrets. You know, it's only lessons learned. But I'm not going to look back on my life and be like, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would. No, I'm going to do it all.
Right.
All of it.
Right. You preaching. Listen. Yes.
All.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it all, honey. Yeah. Do it all. That's some young now people behind me. Like, was it younger people? Because I feel like, I don't know. I'm 35, but I'm at this point where I'm like, God dang it! I wish I could have, should have. You know what I mean?
I wish I did more. Like, yeah, I did some things, but I wish I did
full out. So you know, when I think about, because I saw,
we still have time.
Just what we was just talking about, Toni Morrison. I was looking at Toni Morrison's autobiography or her video thing. I think she had it on Netflix. And she said she was at Howard, and she was so, you know how we regard her in so high esteem. And she was like, honey, I was a whore.
She lived her life, honey.
She lived it. And she
very liberated.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like Jennifer Lewis. Like, if you ever read her memoir, like, very sexually liberated. But at the end of the day, like, if you can't be a great writer, a great storyteller, a great filmmaker if you don't have experiences.
Exactly.
Like, you have to have experiences. Like, you can't speak from a place that you don't know. That's why a white man can't tell a story from a black woman's perspective. He don't know.
Just
Small memory.
or just be open-minded or something.
Come on.
What movie are we talking about here?
I see Malcolm and Marie. That was supposed to be a black love story, quote unquote.
So anyway, I appreciate y'all's self-reflection on just, living. That is good. Like, y'all really preaching.
So is that like the same as your? Because I'm walking and talking. Like your. So looking back in your childhood and some things that you've been taught, because I think Amber, you started to glean from that, like some things that, and as well as Bridget, with your father, some things that you learned or was taught when you were younger, about women, but now you're trying to kind of reteach yourself or relearn behaviors. So.
Not just what I learned as a young child, because my dad still believes the things that he believes. My daddy is a conservative. He voted for Trump twice.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Bless him.
There are people out there. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, there are black people out there that will that vote and still sticking up for them. Anyway, so, but I say that to say that my dad is very, very stubborn about his conservative views, and so stubborn that he will support a man like Trump, almost like he is Jesus, and he ain't.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's still kind of I say that to say it's still kind of a battle, internally, because when I love my family and, when I can get around them, I do. When I can talk to them, I do. And so I still get that, in the ear. It goes out the other eventually, but sometimes stuff linger and you just kind of question yourself for a second. And you have to, remind yourself of who you are and keep it moving.
That's the thing. When I think of the word conservative, I always think about, okay, that means, you're a Baptist, you grew up in church, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, how much has, like, the churches, the Baptist or Southern churches theology has played in our minds when it comes to relationships, when it comes to sex, when it comes to politics. Like, how much does that, like, play into us in our everyday lives? And has it played into your life, and how did you, like, deconstruct that or, like, become the person that you are today to just, like,
right? Because right now I admire both of you. Both of you are just like I've been around Bridget, been around you. You're so in your ways, it's femininity, but yet I ain't taking no bet. Amber, always on, never off. Like, it's everything, and I admire that. And we're just curious to know, like,
the Tiffany is the Tiffany. Look, because both of y'all names are Tiffany. She said, "That's right, no regrets." And it was like, Amber, exclamation point, tell it.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Bridget.
One gifted vessel and Tiffany Birch.
I was just gonna say, I started to change, not my way of thinking, but just how much I allow my parents or my dad mostly to influence the way that I think about myself. Once I went to college, because he gave me an ultimatum. I grew up sheltered, could only go so far. Can't even spend a night with cousins. And now that I, looking back, I see why. But still, I was very sheltered. I was not allowed to work while during the school year. My first job, my dad told me what I was going to do. He's like, I'm going to get you a certification as a lifeguard because I don't want you to work at McDonald's. So, you know, his influence.
Everybody's first job was McDonald's.
Or Chick-fil-A.
I was saving lives, okay?
Mine was lifeguard too, though, low key. Well, I was a lifeguard. I was.
That's hilarious.
So his influence was heavy on my life growing up. And when I left to go to college, I chose the college that I chose. He was like, okay, you can go over there, but I saved money for you to go to college at this school, not that school. So, and I was like, okay, well, I'll figure it out. I went on to Prairie View A&M University.
Oh, good for you. Look at the stepping up.
Come on, y'all got a good band too. Come on, Prairie View.
Yes.
Love. Yes. Got legacy, that band. That for a long time, that was our only legacy. Other than our education. But yeah, so my change in allowing my dad to influence my life so much started in college. And then a couple of years after I started college, I moved off campus, and my parents just had to deal with it. I told my parents, I was like, I'm gonna get a place off campus because it'll be cheaper. And it kind of went in one ear and out the other of them. But I found the place and put a deposit down. And I told my mama, I'm moving on this date. She's like, what? What do you mean?
I'm curious, did they do the same thing with your brothers?
No. So my older brother, I have one older brother. He went off to the Army. My dad told me I could not go serve in the military or the Army. And then my brother that's 3 years younger than me, he followed me to Prairie View. So, and you know, by that time I was living off campus. We only spent one semester together. So no, he ended up, a matter of fact, he ended up getting his girlfriend pregnant and then got married before he graduated from college. But my daddy applauded him for doing the right thing and taking care of his business because they got married.
Goodness. If y'all just joined us, Melanie just entered the building.
Okay, we talking about relationships and how what was the question that you asked? I can't remember, but Amber, do you remember? Amber's next.
How the church affects relationships.
Right.
Oh yes, how the church affects your relationships, and how did you come out of that if you grew up in a church? One gifted vessel. My sister asked are they still married?
Who? My brother and his wife? Yep, they're in Morocco with their 3 kids.
Oh, I love that name.
They're very adventurous couple.
I grew up in the church, and I was very active in the church as a child. When I went off to college, I was active in churches in college. And then one day I was like, you know what? And I try to refrain from having religious and political conversations because I feel like they are just people's opinions at the end of the day. But you also have to know what works best for you. And I know some people don't like the term woke, but I woke up. And I had a serious conversation with my mom about the church and a lot of things, you know, not to go into it too deep. And you know, when my mom died, I was active in my church for 35 years. My mom for over 50, and they treated me like crap. My mother was the church's secretary. She was a pastor's secretary for almost 30 years, and they treated me like crap. So how I feel about the church and relationships is, you know, no matter how much people say they love you and they you know, they show support, you know, when it's really time to really step up to the plate and they don't, like, I feel like it goes against everything we've been taught, everything that we've been raised to believe that church is, that Christianity is, you know, and so it has affected me tremendously, you know. Yeah. So when it comes to relationships, you know, like my mother taught me relationship, not the church, you know, how she loved me and how she cared for me, you know, that taught me relationship. So I got that before I got to the church, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Kudos to Mom Dukes.
Absolutely. R.I.P.
Man, Mazel Tov. Oh, this is wonderful. I enjoy our conversation. Right now we're at 57 minutes. Whoa, that's long. Right now, no, Amber.
It's all right. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah.
All right. So right now we would like to share our video. This is a sneak preview of our trailer, and it's a preview. It's just a preview. It's not the whole thing. It's just about 30 seconds. Just the 30-second video is not done completely because we have so much content. Let me tell you
about the process when we were shooting this, please?
First of all, I enjoyed it. It was very intimate.
We shot it in 2 days.
Yes,
it was just the four of us. Just here. It was just me, Amanda, and her two cameras.
Yeah,
right, it was. And then, like how we talking now, that's how we was on set. Like we was just having these little random conversations and having the same discussions that we was talking now. That's what we're talking now. So
it was amazing for me. Just being around you guys, it was just so refreshing. Just to be around like some positive women, encouraging. Like I enjoy people who, you know, even have inputs, you know, because I don't mind, you know, suggestions. Yeah, it was a great collaboration. It's like, oh, let's do. So we were just vibing out, and I enjoyed it, especially it was just, and then we just kept laughing. I was cracking up. I was trying to hopefully, you know, they didn't get me laughing on the camera because. And then I got it out because it was funny. It was so funny. You just bring in my words to life. I said, "Oh my gosh, this is funny as shit."
How we imagined. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, you guys were such a joy. I really appreciate both of you.
It was an honor. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Shout out to my Sarah Griana Brooks.
Yes, I told her. I said I love her. She said, "Oh, that's my sorrow." I said, "I love her. I want to keep her."
Yeah. We have really great chemistry.
So we do this whole our series, or right now we're shooting our pilot. So we're doing our trailer. So we're in the process of creating the trailer, but we wanted to do like a 30-second little snippet video from like a pre-trailer.
Get a gist of
what just a little teaser. Yes, a little teaser of what the vision is. All about just Black women in promoting just sexual liberation, because I feel like we can be a little restricted, or we're worried about thinking about, you know, the pick-me's or the people or conforming to what this patriotic society deemed us to be, and then we get to our like late 30s and 40s and be like, man, what the heck? In my 20s, I did nothing. Let me go ahead and be liberated. Some of us, especially the people in the church. So this is kind of gleaming towards those women of just being woke. What Amber said, we gonna wake them up.
Yeah,
we about to get woke. Yeah. All right. So go on, man, do your thing. Hit that play button. I don't know if you guys can see it from here.
I'm gonna click.
Get a little closer.
So we can do a video profile. This is what she's doing.
Look, I'm
gonna share my screen.
Yes, come on.
Can everybody see it?
No, we're looking at each other.
Okay.
Yeah, we see enlarge your territory, and here we are.
You are so funny. I can't with you. And I'm gonna play it twice.
Okay. Volume.
Oh, let's go. Let's go again.
Yeah, did you share your sound?
Oh yeah, you got to share the sound.
Yeah, so go back and make sure you share your sound.
Okay, so when you do,
These teachers know.
oh girl, yeah. Like when you do, so when you go back here, so you go to
Remember, y'all had to learn QuickTime if y'all didn't already.
See, let me tell you.
man. So you go to settings, channel upload, default personal agreement, close, stop sharing. So you do it again.
Hold on.
Do you still see? What do we see?
Each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, see. Okay, there we go. So you go back here.
Baby, I got a kernel stuck up in my gums. I'm about to go crazy. Popcorn kernel.
Oh,
If y'all have seen me on this video doing it.
But it looks like you're smiling.
It does. It looks like a or something.
I want it out.
All right, let's try again. So go back to. Oh, did I mess it up?
No, we go back here.
Uh-huh.
And then go back to share screen. And then go.
So you do monitor screen sharing, blah, blah, blah. Screen share audio. Look for the audio share.
Look for the don't. Okay.
Oh, follow those steps. Oh, there you go. Right there, that little icon. Okay, so go back. Right there where the recording is. Okay. Yeah, this is the aunties thing. Like we were trying to figure out, are we the aunties? Are we the here we go.
Listen.
Or are we the nieces?
I went to my university's Alabama State University. I went to our football game, and one of the students called me. He hit my foot, and he was like, "My bad, auntie." Baby, I got something to him. I said, "Why
No, he didn't.
don't you call me?"
What did you call me?
You gotta love him. Gotta love him.
I am.
Okay, we're about to expand it.
Replay it. He's a Bama. He gonna call me auntie.
He sure did.
Okay, play. Here we go. Okay, let me know here. It's really quick.
I am a beautiful woman. As we sailed on a soft summer day, I turned myself into myself and was Jesus.
Look, I'm up by my pledge, bitch. I'm decked up on blue bills, and I won't stop until the cash pit look like fall leaves in a backfill. Tell her out of my face if she coming with that bullshit. Quick to say my piece, I'm so after school special. She brainy, but them jeans looking like paint. I gotta bless her. Niggas talk a whole lot, know what damn well they really can't press us. I notated on leaflet, really up a few levels with it. Like,
Hey, I'm gonna play it again because it's real short, and I thought it was dope.
That is dope. I want to see more.
As we sailed on a soft summer day, I turned myself into myself and was Jesus.
look, I'm up by my pledge, bitch. I'm decked up on blue bills, and I won't stop until the cash pit look like fall leaves in a backfill. Tell her out of my face if she coming with that bullshit. Quick to say my piece, I'm so after school special. She brainy, but them jeans looking like paint. I gotta bless her. Niggas talk a whole lot, know what damn well they really can't press us. I notated on leaflet, really up a few levels with it. Like,
This is what they see.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Look at
Okay.
And share.
Your small
unshare.
business means more than business to your community.
How do I
So your
unshare?
hard work
Oh, there we go.
Oh, pause.
Let's go.
I'm screaming.
Wait, how do you do?
I'm looking forward to seeing the rest.
Yes.
Yes, so that is our little teaser before our
Kudos
trailer.
to you all. Kudos.
Thank you so much for joining us and into our fantasy and our make believe. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. Sorry about the any tangents I may have gone on.
Oh no, it was beautiful. You know, this was a sweet girl chat and much needed for me with the day I had. So I really enjoyed it. You guys really blessed my soul.
You did, yes. I'm super blessed by this moment.
Mm-hmm. Any takeaways? Look, look at me. I'm a teacher for real. Any takeaways?
She want to check for understanding right now. Good. And no CFUs right here. We got it.
Okay, look, cut. It's a wrap. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining Young Black Filmmakers and joining and subscribe. If you like what you see, you like what we're doing, you need to subscribe. Because like I said, what are you doing and why are we doing it? Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes. Sisters.
All right.
Love you guys.
Love you. Have a wonderful weekend.
It's going to be the last time we talk.
Because we got to do part 2.
Because we got things to do.
Yes.
Y'all have a good night.
We're going to get more. We're going to get, listen, it's happening. Because if you like to donate, don't worry, because our monetary donations is coming soon. So we can get this popping.
Get all of it popping.
Okay.
But we'll see you guys later. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Have a good night.
Peace and blessings. Cheers.